This is Loyalty-Based Sales Strategies with Jen Suzuki, exclusively on CBT News.
Welcome back, everyone, to Loyalty-Based Sales Strategies with me, Jen Suzuki. I am always focused on staying connected with customers. It's the only way that we're going to create loyal customers is to have some sort of connection with them. And a lot of times, relationships start when we're in a prospecting phase or when we have a new customer that comes into the service department. This is our first opportunity to really make a first impression, and they say that you only get one chance. So I always want to be thinking about the moments in our communications that'll give us that opportunity to have a really solid first impression. So here's the thing. While you're on the service drive, a lot of times it's face-to-face, you're checking them in, you have this opportunity to make eye contact and hold it and smile and nod, and these things are attractive and friendly, and it's a good vibe. A lot of sales customers are going to contact us on an email. You get internet leads. You have just people that end up on an email thread. Now, emails for me, personally, I hate them. I just wish that whole form of communication would just die, okay? Because there's just a lot of junk in people's inbox, and it's really hard to pop and stand out from your competition. But here's the thing. We have to send emails because we don't know who this customer is, and we don't know what they're going to check first that's going to give us that opportunity to be yo, I'm the one. And so with an email today, and a lot of times, we could take some of the content that I'm going to share with you, some of the tactics and tips I'm about to throw down on emails so you can have successful conversions. You could carry over. They translate to texts, to videos, to even what you're saying on in person or even on phone calls or voicemails and all that stuff. But I'm going to target emails today because a lot of people don't know what to say anymore. And so, again, I always focus on this. There's a few things that we can do to be conscientious of how we're coming across. You are in the inbox of 80% spam. And if they shopped other dealers, okay, well, they just got hit up by 5 other dealerships, so you got to be popping and stand apart from everybody else. So one of the things that I recommend to sales teams is to not have a generic subject line. I know that sounds so basic, and it is, but a lot of times people are using templates still. What do you live in the 80s? Don't do that anymore. Nobody likes templates. Nobody likes robo-feels. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't have templates already set up that look a little personal vibes and that we can modify them to look a little bit more human. So I challenge you to think about that. But that's another episode. I'm thinking about that subject line. And if you look at your phone right now, you're going to see that there's probably 6, 7, 8 words on that subject line. This is your opportunity to just really make it pop. So there's certain things that you want to avoid, all capital letters. That'd be so old school. But you're thinking about things that are personalized to this customer. So if I get an internet lead, first thing I'm doing is I'm checking to see if they're already in our database. I'm fighting for loyalty. So if they're already in here and the gold's already there to make a solid connection, welcome back, Jennifer. I mean, hello, that would be a great email with maybe a car emoji or something like this that it's talking to me, my friends, it's talking to me. Talk to them in a more human and personalized way. The people like real talk. They don't thank you for your internet inquiry. Really? Nobody talks like that. Why are you doing that? But if people say, thank you for contacting us about the Ford F-150, I'm okay, seriously? Nobody says that. But if it's hey, I got your email, I left you a voicemail, or hey, Jen, I see you're looking for a car, hey, Jen, you're in our neighborhood. Hit me up if you need some extras, but here's the thing. I really want to look at their record, and I'm are they a new customer or the existing customer? This is always the foundation for loyalty, because if it's already existing customer, I'm going to say, we always appreciate your loyalty. I'm here to make sure you're taken care of. That's a subject line. Do you know what I'm saying? Things that really talk to people. Hey, I see that you're new to the neighborhood. Welcome. I'm going to be taking care of you. So think about these subject lines, and some of the subject lines I'm throwing at you, I'm just doing off the cuff, because I'm thinking about who this customer might be and how I can create a more personalized approach for them. Then could they be doubled as like a first sentence too? Because let's face it, on their phones, on their mobile, on their email, they're gonna see the same thing. The first line of the first sentence of the email. So I don't want to be basic. Okay, that is for like your competitors that are going to lose this deal. Okay, you want to be like extra, extra in all things because this is what it's going to take to pop. So I'm thinking about that first sentence, and even if you have a template for efficiency, I'm all for it. I'm giving like all efficiency vibes over here. But I'm gonna modify that first sentence so it's like for them. Once again, I'm looking for something to personalize. If you're interested in seeing some of the things that I send out to customers, you can always hit me up for time savings on the episode because I wanna get to some really good stuff. This is gonna be a bunch of long-term follow-up plays in just a moment. I just wanna give you a few little sales tactics that you can do to make your emails a little bit more like, woo, personalized, that's what we're trying to do, be relationship sellers. We are selling for loyalty over here. So then the other thing that I always think about is obviously a short message. I don't want to be scrolling, like looking at all this stuff. Like, nobody likes that. It's like, it looks too spam-malicious, and yeah, I'm not trying to be that. I'm like the one over here that's paying attention to details. I'm looking over like things they might have said in their email, even if it's just a city that I can reference, or maybe it's their car, and something that I can put in that first sentence. And at the last thing that I would throw down here is a call to action. I want them to do something when they get this email, so I always want like a question. I keep it under 5 sentences, and those are some quick tips on emails. I want to bring something to the table. So a lot of times with my follow-ups, and they're ghosting me, whether it's text or it's emails, I'm sending them content that's more value-based, things that are more about the car, because in the first 3 days, that tells me if they're in market or not. Because basically, I'll tell you this, I might be the first one to hit you with the real, okay? But based on the things that I've seen and my experience working internet leads every week in stores, I'm going to tell you this. If they don't hit you back in 72 hours, they are not in market. So you're hitting them hard with your emails and your phone calls and your videos and everything like that. They ghosted you. It's time to switch gears. It's time to switch gears. I might have done some things where I sent them some value-based texts, like some YouTube videos on the car. I might have been like, car. And now I'm like, okay, they are not like in market. A lot of times they put internet leads in because they had to put their contact information to unlock, a price that they wanted to see or stuff like this. We always got like these gatekeepers on them. And they're not in market yet. They're just like, interested. But I don't want to like compromise my follow-up and like drop the ball and be like, talk to you never. I want to keep the conversations going. I want to stay connected, but in a meaningful way. But if I start hitting them up after 3 days, with like, are you still in the market? Have you bought anything yet? When's a good time to talk? Are you still car shopping? How can I help you buy a car? Did you get a trade appraisal? It's like, calm down, okay? Calm down. They're probably not in market. Now you're missing the mark. Now you're over here like an aggressive, thirsty salesperson. Ain't nobody like that. So I would ask you to reconsider your drip. Yes, the drip is what's about to happen now with your follow-up process, and you might have some automation. I'm all for it, But here's the thing. A lot of times we're like, sell. I'm like, oh my gosh, you literally look like a stalker. What are you doing? Like, I would literally call block you. I would block you unsubscribe to you if you kept that up. And a lot of times this is what we're doing. It's old, it's dated, bye. Let's delete it right now together. Delete. Okay, what are we doing now? Killing the game, okay? So the after 3-day drip is gonna look like this. I'm gonna say to you, my friends, you built this multi-million-dollar brand. What are you doing? I wanna make sure that people, when they get your emails, they're like, they're thinking about you in a way that's beneficial to them. Now, I've got this dealer that's on my mind right now who I'm working with their service department. He just built a $5 million facility down in Orlando, Florida. Biggest Kia, facility out there, right? Yeah, I think like 45 new bays. He's got all these 7 days a week. They're open now. They same day appointments. Like what? Okay, I'm saying to myself, that is a thing. That is an advancement from this brand. This is something that we did because customers were like, it took 3 weeks to get an appointment. I hate you. I'm like, no, not anymore, because you just squashed all the things that people press back on. You're not open on Sunday, or you don't have the right hours. Oh my gosh, so they just correct all these things. I say, well, you better let the people know. So if I get an internet lead, they ghost me after 3 days, I might send them an email that says, we've upgraded our service department because our customers were complaining they couldn't get a same-day appointment. OMG. I mean, think about it. Just saying. I've got stores that do mobile service, right? And I say, nobody's doing mobile service. You're doing, you need to, email follow-up. It's brand selling. It's letting people know that you're constantly doing things better. You're showcasing your brand advancements. You're showcasing your brand, your team, the things you're doing in your community. Dealerships invest in communities like nobody else. But a lot of times they don't get the credit for it. And I'm saying this is your moment right now with the email drip follow-up. We're going to send them value-based, brand-building messaging that allows people to really understand who you are and what you're all about, who your team is, and what you're going to do for me. And so I'm going to mix it up, and you're going to have to find what that drip looks like for you. And if you're interested in, some ideas, don't reinvent the wheel. Just hit me up, Jennifer@edealersolution.com, and I will send you like a full document of things that I've been using in stores, and then I've even gotten from dealers themselves on, okay, I see what you're saying. Hey, let's do this. And just kind of thinking about, this follow-up, there's things that you can do. These are these are amenity changes I've given you so far, but you could also be talking about your team. Now, this dealership I was in yesterday, they had a senior master certified technician join their team. Not just a master certified technician, a senior. Now, I said, that's kind of a big deal, and we should let people know that we have newcomers to the team that are like advanced in technology, that are advanced in working on your brand. We don't want people cheating and going to like outside services, so it's our job to keep reminding the public and our potential customers of like the quality, the craftsmanship, like the quality of the people, the team, the facility, and even the parts. But I could start talking about, we just hired this person who's a senior master. This means that we are able to, boom, boom, boom. You could give your selling points. But my point is this, I'm showcasing people on my team that continue to build equity in who we are, what we bring to the table. Now, it's winter, right? So you might be thinking about, we're going to do a coat drive, for the kids in our community or a certain school system. I'm putting that out there in my drip campaign. I'm like, if you have an extra coat, or you see a coat on sale in the department store, and you could bring it in, and drop it off. Please help us get to 1,000 coats this winter, and give them a deadline. Now they know that you're involved in the community or what you're doing. Look, there's tons of things that you can do instead of like, are you still in the market? When are you going to buy? Like, nobody likes that, okay? I'm here to tell you that is like deletable process. And we're trying to be relevant. We try to be like popping. We're trying to outdo our competition. And so we'll have to mix things up, and we're going to have to be challenging our thinking and our actions to stay in the game, right? And there you go. So I appreciate you listening today. Share this with people that you know that deserve a little extra something, from you that will enrich their lives, their business. Okay, that was aggressive. Might have been a little extra, but that's what we're trying to do. Share this with somebody else that you think could impact them in a positive way. And thank you again for joining me on Jen Suzuki, Loyalty-Based Sales Strategies. I'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching Loyalty-Based Sales Strategies with Jen Suzuki, exclusively on CBT News.